on these Geek Fam heroes. It'll be just Timber, and the way Nigma are going to play this game is to go away from him and always have the Scythe if needed once you get to those 5-on-5s from the Necro. It's dicey.
And we'll see. We might have a bit of a skirmish to start things off, at least. Well, Geek Fam just ensuring that they can secure this boundary. Actually, Kuro's going to come across. They're going to try and fight this mind control. We'll be able to pick it up before they can get their hands on it. Weeha's also started off getting involved with this fight up top. They're looking for that first blood on Zubu, and they'll have it. Weeha with the power shot. Gets the first blood to start things off. Of course, an instant TP to the mid lane, and they'll have that little bit of a cash bonus to give him a considerable edge in that lane. That 282 gold thanks to that kill. And
I feel like I need to speak for Fogged here, because if he was sitting in this chair, he'd certainly say, finally, someone picks Elder Titan. It's one of his favorite heroes, and I also agree that it might be low-key broken, especially in a patch where everybody's got 1 billion HP. Remove all their magical and physical armor later on in the game is incredibly useful, especially when you have a hero with crazy high magic damage like Necro.
Obviously with the lane setups from Geek Fam, they're putting Carl on that mid lane Timbersaw, a hero that's going to be able to sort of sustain any sort of harassment from the Weeha Wind Ranger, unlikely to end up feeding in that situation. The bottom lane, Miracle backed up by GH. It's going to look to run down Zephyr, and as you say, GH already just punching hard and pushing Zephyr all the way back. One more hit will do it. GH, he's... Okay, I lied, he needed a second hit. The one alone was not enough, but still, you're seeing that. You've got to respect this man and his stapler.
Yeah, he's got naked brown boots, and he still forces 2 heroes out of lane just by, as you said, the big stapler punches. Top lane not going to be super easy either for Geek Fam, and they need a strong laning phase. One of the downsides of their support combination, including Cuckoo on the off lane, is that there's very limited damage output. It's a lot on the Slark and the Timber to actually carry them throughout this game, and they also don't really have any natural methods of pushing towers. Jesus.
I mean, they're just not prepared for the Elder Titan. You know, Zephyr, he's dying under tower to it. That's how strong GH is showing it off to be at the moment.
Nah, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. He's got 110 damage. He's level 1.
Well, very impressive opening there to that bottom lane. Thanks to GH's presence. Should do a good job of securing Miracle some space for farms. Raven also getting space up top, though. The mid lane matchup, Carl, he's doing an excellent job. Being this hero, he can get in there and being melee against the range. He is securing far more CS than that of Weeha's Wind Range. Just 13-4 against 6 for 0. Weeha, he's struggling. He needed help from Gabe, and he is going to get it with this DD.
And it's interesting. Weeha, even with the first blood, didn't choose to actually itemize for his laning phase. That's part of why he's a little bit behind right now. Instead, he's trying to rush the javelin.
I was going for the greed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting because I guess he'll have it, but he's obviously going to have it at that rate much before he hits the level 6. But still, I guess the occasional right-click harassment and having that extra burst of damage that obviously the reactive armor is not going to help the Timber against could be enough to sort of allow Weeha to start forcing Carl out of the lane.
I don't think that's ever a thing, though. Like, you don't want to play to deal with the Timber. Just let him be there, let him farm, and look to trade. I'm not sure I agree with this style from Wee, but this is how he likes to play, right? He goes for the W, not the trade.
Yeah. I don't think you'll ever see, or you ever have seen this sort of double mantle circlet. Not going to finish the null, just get the javelin build. So we'll see if that's the play from Weeha. GH will lose his courier. Zephyr's able to get a bit of revenge. And it's a good job he did that. That had sort of the wind lace on as well. You know, he's always doing running around with just the brown boots. You give him a wind lace as well. You just cannot escape the Elder Titan. So
well, more importantly, it had the dust on it. So now Cuckoo knows, hey, there's no way they could possibly have detection. I can just sandstorm to my heart's content. Make sure that I get every CS out of the wave.
Yeah, something that Mind Control is not able to do on the other side of the map. Falling a little bit behind in farm. Yep. Overall, the 3 cores of Geek Fam definitely able to hit the creeps that little bit better so far.
Yep. Well, when that first blood went down, unfortunately, Mind Control lost so much health he had to pop a Fairy Fire and a Salve. So showed up in lane already with missing mana as well. And as you can see, because we went for that Rush Javelin, we didn't really feel that impact of the first blood on the lane phase.
I mean, and you're seeing that even with when he gets the procs on Carl, it really doesn't matter. Sure, it's going to give him a little bit of an extra hit, but he has so much regen going with the reactive armor that harassment, it doesn't do anything at all. You see, look, Carl's just playing behind the tower. He couldn't care less that Weeha rushed this javelin.
Yeah, your Timbersaw, he's level 5. There's just not a damn thing you can do. And it will be an issue for Nigma as this game continues, because really it's just the Necrophos that they have to deal with this Timbersaw. He's naturally going to go for some...
Don't stand near the trees, wait. That's up. He's got the point in the temperature. He's got to be careful. We are at bottom lane. Zephyr. Well, that's a good bit of revenge. Him and Cuckoo getting behind the tower, getting the kill. Top lane Raven. He bounces in. They've just killed off Mind Control. As Geek fam, they're starting to really solidify these lanes after the first initial couple of minutes where it's like, all right, Nigma's come to play.
Yep.
But now Geek fam, they're looking far more solid.
Yeah, and this is very weird from GH. How does he actually? He just dies to
the caustic.
Okay. A little bit of overconfidence, but he did grab a deny, so let's take that in trade. He's got a dust now as well with a huge stack. Holy shit, he's got 105 plus.
Nice. Poor old Cuckoo. Oh, the pain. Oh, my goodness. As you said, 163 right click on the Elder Titan. Cuckoo did not stand a chance. The Sand King cometh and he leaveth.
Yeah. This is looking good for Geek Fam, though. Timbersaw is in a dominant position. Might even be able to get a kill on Wee here.
Grab back. Chakram's out. Have they got the nuke damage to do so? The shackle shot from Wee will get him away. Quick thinking from the Wind Ranger. I mean, it saves his life, but still, it's not going to help the struggles of Weeha. You can see 17 for 3, 39 for 13. This choice from Geek Fam to put Carl in the mid lane and also to somehow control the mind of Weeha to make him go for this Javelin Rush, which so far has done nothing, has meant this mid lane has been the easiest start for Carl ever. He's so far ahead.
You said it all. And this is exactly what you want as a Timbersaw, right? Once you're ahead, you got Soul Ring up, and there's just nothing you can do as Nigma to threaten him. They need level 6 on Necro to even have a prayer of taking him down. And the trouble is, when Timber gets ahead like this, you can't do what you want to do, which is play away from him. If you do that this early, you're just going to lose your mid tower, and that's not something you're willing to give up. It's just 6 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Wee's having to have Kuro sit by his side in case Carl gets aggressive again. He's trying his best with the power shot to secure the CS that he can, but still, range creep deny after deny Carl seems to be getting. As that level difference is not going to close anytime soon, at least in the laning stage. It's going to be all about Weeha making those flashy plays that we know he can do on the Wind Ranger to sort of get his game back on track.
Yeah, he's trying his best, but this is a tickle. MC up top looking to start pressuring Raven, but as soon as he hits 6, this is a very difficult lane for the Necro. You're a sustain and pressure laner. Oh, hold up.
He's got the 6. He turns with a shackle shot, and with that ultimate, he's bringing Carl low. Another change to the side. Miracles come across to try and help get the kill. Carl finally falls. Kuro turns around, help with the miscoil. Nigma will punish Carl as we hits that 6 in time and is finally able to make the use of that javelin that he runs.
Kuro showed up a little late for the match and a little late to that kill, but grabs the killing blow. Cuckoo, that's not happening.
GH just a little too speedy as he's able to simply walk it off.
Yep. I like that Miracle TP'd in there just to grab the XP if nothing else. He also doesn't want to be against the Sand King anymore. There's just too much damage pressure coming out from the Sandstorm. Up top, you can see, looks like MC just dies. Yeah, there's nothing doing there.
And not quite to get out with that Ghost Shroud TP attempt. Didn't last long enough. In the river. Another quick catch here for the two. The two cores teaming up very early. Zephyr does try for a deny to Roshan, but Miracle a little too quick. As Miracle, we are grouping up very early. So these 8-minute plays around the mid lane, it's helped them get the kill onto Carl, and it's now helped them get the kill on Zephyr as well.
These shackles have been on point so far from Wei. It's part of the reason they pick it for him, right? He's one of the better, if not the best Wind Ranger in the world, and it's a much more unreliable stun than it appears. Just ask BSJ.
We are really hovering around for this one. The shackle is there. He certainly kept Carl interested. Carl's starting to get a little bit low. Obviously, the duration of that is so long. The power shot, I mean, he's done it. He's starting to get flashy, Weeha. And Carl, he's falling for the trap. Every time, Carl's hanging around thinking, hey, I'm not dying. Look how long it's taken him to kill me. But that's the problem. He is killing you.
It's all the javelin, right? Don't know if he needed to rush it, but obviously it does pay dividends. Able to take out the Timbersaw for a second time now. Dubu in trouble.
See, GH. He's got a little bit of a burst from Mind Control to heal him up. It's not enough as Raven. He gets one. Ghost Shroud still unavailable for Mind Control. It's going to be the double for Raven, who was already having such a free lane in terms of farm. Now he's starting to get the kills. He's already up to sort of having the +4 permanent essence shifts, and that's at 9 minutes in. This is very early for a slot.
Oh, for sure. And if Carl hadn't died a couple times, they'd be in a dominant position. He needs that hood. As soon as he grabs that, he'll be nigh indestructible. Will kill off this mid tower, and Geek Fam have a nice lead, but keep in mind, this is a PL well, Wind Ranger. At a certain point, you're going to come online with these heroes. You have so much kill threat. And I've yet to see a Slark truly out-carry a PL. We saw Nigma beat a PL with it in the previous, yesterday rather. But they had a Darkseer, and they also dominated from 12 minutes on. So not sure it'll go in a more even matchup.
Let's see, here's top, Kuro. Now coming in the full 5-man of Nigma, ready to try and at least, obviously, to secure one of the outposts. We'll see if they want to hang around and try and push for a tower as well, take away a bit of the jungle from Geek fam. Meanwhile, Dubu's going to be able to get that outpost on his own down bottom. As for now, Geek fam keeping themselves the opposite side of the map to Nigma.
Yeah, just play away from the Timber Saw, that's the name of the game. I like what Geek fam have done though. You've already killed the mid tower, now just move towards bottom and yep, put Timber against the enemy push. Try and slow down this tempo. This is exactly what you're going to look to do as Carl for the rest of this game. Just make sure you plant yourself on whatever structure is most in danger.
I mean, yeah, they're sort of looking at the Timber, and I think, you know, they are saying, we've got it back. He's coming here. They can at least abuse the fact that his TP will be on cooldown, try and make a move somewhere else, and hope that Carl's not going to be able to get there in time to sort of be that impassable wall to keep the towers of Geek fam alive very early on.
And GH is level 7 already. Just one behind his mid player. Mango tree to Raven. And another thing Nigma's done here, look at the 4 wards they've got all alongst the river. Just trying to keep track of the side-to-side movement as Miracle plays bottom completely without vision. But nothing you can really do as Geek fam just yet to take him down unless you were to bring a heavier rotate.
And we'll see the build of Miracle, of course, being that Diffusal Blade. Did pick up the Ring of Health along the way rather early on. Obviously will be of use down the line when he wants to go for that Vanguard Abyssal Blade.
Yep. Nice sustain tool as well. You're against a Sand King, you need some kind of regen, and it's much more cost efficient to your point because you are going to use it later in your kit than just spamming tangos.
Yeah, and sorry, he's completing the hood first.
Really?
Yeah, so goes for the hood first so that he has that protection against what is, of course, mainly magical damage output really from Geek fam. Only the Slark that's ever going to be punching physically. So with that hood, he's going to feel pretty safe to go around. Weeha, he's making the moves. Finds himself a freebie as Dubu's out alone. Weeha, he's starting to step it up. Had a slow start in that mid lane.
Tier 2.
See if Mind Control gets any help. If he needs it, let's see if Carl can land the next Chakram. Won't be off the mark with the Timber Chain. Chakram does connect. He's in again. Death Pulse keeps Mind Control safe. He's back at the shrine. Carl won't be able to finish off this killer. Now Carl does have to respect that Weeha comes in with the TP. He backs off.
All right. And he's just trying to secure tower, right? Tier 1's still alive. Taken down by creeps, slowly but surely. Phase boots on Wee, Earn on ET.
This is going to be another tower though. Geek fam. They were able to find this top tier 1. They're going to try for a deny. They're not going to be able to get it, Nigma. They attempted with the sleep setup. I wasn't quite there in time, so more money and gold going the way of Geek fam. They hold on to this 2k lead. I mean, those 2 beefy cores at the top of it all. Carl and Raven. Only Miracle that's up there. The rest of the cores on Nigma are about 1,000 gold each behind.
And Mind Control's going to have such a hard time coming back into this. Only 3k net worth. And there's just no space on the map.
And is it sort of expected that Mind Control was going to have that sort of a tough start against that safe lane of the Slark and Chen? Like,
It all starts with the first blood, right? You just fall behind.
Well, here we go on the mid. Setup's there with the splitter. He's going to catch the 2 of them. Miracle's in power shot off the mark though. So Geek fam, they're still at full HP. And now they can turn. They grab back on a Miracle. Miracle's getting nuked down low. He has to doppelganger and run. Sandstorm setups there from Geek fam to make sure that Nigma do retreat. Raven, he's there with the chase. He's trying to keep himself on top of GH. He's already used the pounce. Nukes out there from the Fate Bolt. GH, he's running. He is speedy, but Raven with the Shadow Dance, that movement speed boost, it allows him to close the gap, get the kill. Mega kill streak now for Raven as he's getting involved. And Geek fam, they're crawling further and further ahead.
That's how you got to do it. Just keep playing aggressive. Make Timber Saw get into battle. Force Nigma to either retreat inside their base or leave their objectives high and dry. You're going to take top shrine on Mind Control. That's quickly going to be moved over to by the rest of Geek fam.
Yeah, they're all coming over here at least. Well, Carl and Zephyr are. Try and force him back.
Poor MC, man, he's level 7.
It's been a slow start for Mind Control. I mean, yeah, if this game continues at this sort of pace, a few more objectives, and Dubu's Chen's going to be overtaking his farm.
This is not looking good so far for Nigma. And you can see, look at the way the map has just shrunk for them. You got Sand King farming a wave behind where the tier 1 used to be. It's only 15 minutes in. Bounty runes are going to spawn. Looks like it'll be not a mad dash for them at all, as nobody's even picked one up yet. Dubu will grab one. In fact, it looks like, yeah, Geek Fam will take all 4.
Yeah, I believe so, at least the majority. Having that map control, having that edge. Nigma's sort of area that they can afford to get out and safely farm it. It's getting restricted. Only Miracle still able to hold on at the top. His other 2 cores, they're falling behind. Sure, you know, you look like WeHar's KDA's 2-0-3. He has been able to get those kills, make those moves. But he needs to keep doing that. If he, as soon as he stops, this hero, the farming potential is low. He's gonna fall further and further behind. They have to keep making plays, Nigma.
Oh, whiffed that one, unfortunately, but
We do have detection. Hand of God's gonna be popped, and they'll do it. Cuckoo's gone. They'll get themselves the offlane Sand King. But what can they do with that? It's a kill. Now what can they turn it into?
well, that's the problem with your with Wind Ranger, right? It's why we don't see it picked super often. It's because you can find these kills, you can be active, but you're this jack of all trades, master of none. You don't really offer much in terms of team fighting or tower pushing. So yeah, you grab that kill, but it's also, look at where Nigma's located on the map. That's around their own shrine. There's just no way for them to get out on the map, especially because they have nothing to deal with Timbersaw yet. Like, I don't believe that the 5 of them could kill him.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No, at least not when he starts to pick up this next item after the hood. He's got 2k gold. We'll see which way he wants to go with it, whether he wants to go down sort of the armor route or the orb, the Lotus Orb.
I really like it with the Chen as well. One of the weaknesses of Timber, much like a Viper, a DK, they're not very mobile. You have the Chen teleport, so now all of a sudden Timber pushes top in deep. You immediately TP him back, smoke out, look to make a play on the other side.
Yeah, and that sort of added mobility. I mean, it's what you mentioned earlier, right? The Timbersaw is this hero that when he turns up, Nigma's got to leave. And now he can turn up very, very easily in a multitude of situations. A Geek Fam playing aggressive. Seeing if they can get a catch on Nigma. Nigma staying close to the tier 2. They know that something's up. You see Carl has no fear whatsoever right now. Gonna head forward, confidently clean out the wave, get the push onto this tier 2.
Here comes MC. It's gonna be a 5-on-5.
Stomped off the market. The power shot on the Death Pulse does do a good job of clearing out a few of Dubu's creeps.
Slark still pushing bottom. He should be able to take that tier 2 uncontested if nobody gets down there. Geek Fam's doing a really good job of splitting them up 4-1.
He could find the burrow strike in a bit from the trees if WeHar steps a little closer. Bottom. Raven, as you say, he gets it alone. They got in. I mean, he was standing a little too close there. We'll see if we have a replay, but it was definitely either Cuckoo getting in with the burrow strike from the trees or the quick grab from Zephyr. And that's the thing. Once this hero gets locked down, she just dies in an instant. And that's your mid. Gone.
It's all about going high ground, though. You're doing a great job so far, Geek Fam, but you got to continue to capitalize on this lead. It's be the second tier 2 they take down, but you got to think about Roche and you got to think about breaking base.
And it was, you know, the patience from Kuka really paid off. He was waiting there in that tree line. They had vision down the lane. WeHar steps forward, and there's no hesitation. He's instantly dead.
Yep. And you're going to have a defusal now on Miracle, but I gotta say, I dislike the hood purchase. I'm very rarely not a fan of the way Miracle itemizes, but if you're going to go for this fighting hood item and then not fight, it just doesn't help you accelerate.
Oh, mind control. Get a little bit of safety, the Ghost Shroud and the Shield pop, but Raven, he feels strong. He's going to want to chase this down. He's starting to get those essence shifts build up. Miracle turns up, and Raven will back off the Shadow Dance. Dubu gets grabbed back into the splitter. They'll throw the scythe down on him. So Dubu's dead at least for 45. The rest of Geek Fam, they're backing away from Nigma. But in all reality, Nigma's used the splitter. They've used the scythe. That's a lot of their kill potential gone and used on the position 5.
They're so good at utilizing power spikes. PL picks up a defusal. Immediately they get active. Raven, of course, slightly baiting in his Chen there. You only lose the one, though. Not a huge deal. Kaya now picked up on the Timber. They have a blink on Sand King. And Slark with that Echo soon going to be finishing up his Ags, which just drastically increases his mobility, which seems to be the key to winning games so far this event.
We'll see where Geek Fam want to head now. It really does feel like each of these kills, when Nigma gets them, they're not able to do anything off the back of it. All tier 1s still standing strong for Geek fam. They have a very confident lead right now that's seemingly incredibly difficult for Nigma to turn around. It's all going to be on how much Miracle can do. The game is on his shoulders. He's the carry that's up there on par with Raven's farm. Is the PL enough this game to win it?
Yeah, they're doing a great job on Geek fam. You can play the game so luxuriously when you have this sort of map control. There's 5 heroes split all around the map, whereas, as you can see, Nigma, they're standing in the middle of their 3 wards placed as 4 heroes. 5, actually, because they just don't have any ability to move out onto the map. The lanes are constantly being shoved into them. Mid is at the tier 3. Bottom is where the tier 2 used to be. It's because they can only cover 1 at a time.
And you see like Raven, right? 5 kills, 0 deaths. Because this hero, how do you kill the Slark? How, as Nigma, do you start initiating onto Raven's Slark? Like, which hero starts the fight off? You see a Shackle coming in, he's pressing Q. You see a Stomp coming in, he's pressing Q. Just press Q, lol, and Raven won't die. Mid lane, Cuckoo. He gets himself away, actually walks back into the Earth, but it doesn't get, because of the awkward situation that he was in the trees. They get the 2 of them. Raven, now he needs help. Maybe on his own, he can't be that strong. Carl's coming in, though. He has a BKB. Actually, scrap that. Raven, he says, come on us. He's ready to fight. He doesn't care at all. He's so strong right now. He's chasing down Miracle. Jump up. Miracle will go for the TP out, will make it away. But the chase isn't over yet for Weehaw, as Carl still has his sights set on the Wind Ranger. Weehaw will be able to pick up the MKB from the shop. He's going for the TP out. Do they have the burst lead? Wow. Carl, he's in, cuts him down. As Weehaw's game gets slowed down even more, Carl continuing to be the reigning power of this match that's so hard for Nigma to deal with. And we can see, even with the item timings, right, it's without, okay, apparently, according to Ghost AI, it was a very average.
Yeah.
Miracle, not someone that you normally sort of associate with being average, but according to the stats here, that timing was this game.
Oh, for sure. But, I mean, Australia is not the only place with that has an issue with deforestation. This Timbersaw is completely uncountered. And I don't actually know how you're going to take both him and the Slark down. both supports died right away.
They're so hard to kill, these cores. A Shackle into sort of Miracle, burning the mana potentially of one of them will do it. But you saw, because of the start that Raven has, he has that BKB. He's ready to play against these items. It just feels like Nigma at the moment, they're like a hero and an item behind. Geek fam continuing to look very strong, and Raven, he's now got the luxury to start itemizing against the PL. He's going to queue up the Maelstrom next.
It's really your only option. I mean, you have Sand King Timber. It's just a nice added bonus. The Mjolnir specifically helps when you're targeted because you can pop it on whoever's taking the hits, and the illusions end up killing themselves. Nice Shackle.
Doesn't latch quite onto the trees. Carl was already able to clean them out, make sure there was no connection available for the Shackle.
Yeah, this is a position Nigma finds themselves in more often than not, it feels, though. You got to assume that they're still confident as Geek fam continue to try and get aggressive, looking to make moves.
Carl already straight onto Mind Control. Mind Control having to back right up to the tier 2. Of course, their last remaining tier 2, you know, as I mentioned earlier, it's still a point of the game where Geek fam have lost. They've lost nothing on their side of the map. They're able to maintain all tier 1s. They've got control of both outposts at the moment. Map control is entirely in their favor.
But keep in mind, they have 5 towers to 0. Their gold lead's 5K. So all of that advantage is still on the map for Nigma to claim. If they're able to win a fight, start getting things moving, they'll actually be able to take a lead quite easily. And Geek fam, they've itemized to fight now. They've got the Bloodstone up. Slark's got the BKB. They're not looking to outscale necessarily, but rather find a fight right now as they smoke up towards the Nigma high ground.
See what they can do. Nigma is there waiting. But are they ready? Kuro immediately pops the borrowed time. Raven's in on top of them, starting to build up that juicy essence shift. Duke down, a shot to the back from Zephyr takes Kuro out of the game. The rest of Nigma has to get away right now. As Carl, he can do this. He does not care. He does not care. He's that big right now.
Yep. Carl's doing a great job of avoiding trees. You can see him juking in and out. Weehaw goes for the Shackle. He's missed 3 or 4 on him already so far because he's very aware of what's happening. And you know, Miracle, he's top net worth. You got to be confident as a Nigma fan if you see that, but this is not the typical Miracle hero matchup. Usually he's getting this last pick hero. This time they open with his hero, and you're hard countered by Timber, by Sand King. Your Illusion's never really going to become that force to be reckoned with we've seen so often in this WePlay minor. You have GH though, that's the X factor. I love this hero. Okay.
Well, here we have the situation that talks about. They can shackle into burning his mana. And with the ult, and the God's pop, it's not going to save him. Yeah, they get it. Carl's dead. Now Geek Fam, they've got to try and punish this. They've just lost their biggest hero. What can they get in return? Weehaw, he's surrounded, he's stuck in the trees and will fall dead to the epicenter. They get the revenge. Can they get anything more? Miracle, a little too far away for Raven to catch up. And in fact, Raven having a bit of an issue there with the Illusion starting to lose his own mana. Another Spirit Lance thrown out. Nigma, they still want to fight this. They're burning Raven's mana down low. Jumping from Cuckoo's there with the backup. They're going to turn, look towards Miracle. The split is out for GH. BKB's pop. Raven takes a lot of damage though, and his mana's gone. Pop's Shadow Dance has to retreat. Can Nigma chase any further? Cuckoo and Raven very low in the mana pool. So hard for them to respond, but they will get away in the tree lines, blink out. They'll stay safe, just a 1-for-1 between the mid laners. But of course, for a team that's behind, Nigma's going to be very happy with that.
Oh, for sure. And the support duo is starting to look real strong. Not the greatest in terms of actually getting early game, but a bad ET. You're one of the best defensive heroes in Dota 2, and one of the greatest offensive supports as well. ET, once you get to that max out aura, all of a sudden Slark's base armor disappears. And you start to slaughter him with this PL. He's got the Manta online, starting to look real tanky. Once he grabs a heart, I don't believe that just a chakra will be enough to take out these Illusions.
Well, as the build's being done, Weehaw, MKB complete still, very much faster than the average. It's going for that rush. You saw as well as hero damage just shown by Gosu AI. It is high, and it's exactly what's necessary. He has to get these kills. He's got to be involved in bringing down these cores before it's too late. And they're beginning to stabilize the match a little bit, Nigma. It has been this 5K lead for Geek Fam, but it's been that for quite some time now. As Nigma are starting to respond and starting to get together to some sort of strength themselves.
You're going to start to see one of the issues with the lineup in that the Sand King, Rubik, Chen all do not scale nearly as well as their counterpoints on Nigma. In addition, Sand King specifically, you just start to fall off hard. Necro suddenly overtaken him by 1,000 gold in the net worth department, and Mind Control is going to scale hard as this hero, and it's also the late game answer to this Timber Saw. If they can just continue to buy time, Nigma's got to like their chances here. We're approaching 30 minutes, one of the slowest games so far at this tournament, only 12 to 11. Typically we'd see at least 30, 40 kills.
Dire's top
definitely
tower is under attack.
Has to you know, you got to feel that Geek Fam, they're probably feeling the pressure a little bit. They were riding some brilliant momentum for the first 20 minutes or so. Now it's slowing down a little bit for them as Nigma. They'll get the tier 1 tower top. Shackle's there, latching the two of them, Carl and Cuckoo together. They'll just throw in the illusion, start to burn some mana. They're backing away. Weeha's already out with the TP. Does not want to stick around for the fight here. Can Geek Fam punish any of the members left behind? They've got the vision onto Mind Control in the trees, set up with a Pyro Strike. He's trying to come over on the abandoned Kuro to help out, but Mind Control, he's already dead and gone. Kuro, I don't think he can escape this. They have the Yule set up. In on top of them they go. Geek Fam, they'll get the two of them. A failed retreat from Nigma cost them 2 lives.
I was about to start praising Nigma for the way they pushed and pulled. You know, you don't want to take that fight as Geek Fam if Nigma formed this concentrated ball, but then Mind Control just takes the wrong left and runs up. Kuro forced out of position to try and help him out. The rest of the team was safe. I'm no idea why he went up there. It's not as if hiding in the trees is ever going to save you. You're against a Timber Saw. Rubik with a shackle shot is not where you want to be.
Radiant's top tower is under
Still, you know,
attack.
despite the farm starting to catch up on the cores of Nigma, the level difference is very much apparent on the cores. You know, the levels for the cores of Geek Fam, 19, 19, 17. Over on the side of Nigma, 19, 16, 15. Miracle's still there at the top. But Weehaw and Mind Control, they just haven't been able to get the space. The only moves and plays they've been able to make are as that as a unit. They cannot go out alone because they're so vulnerable to the jump and catch of Geek Fam.
Yep. You do always have the Wind Ranger, though. It's a deceptively powerful net worth because you're really just a single target damage, as we in this game. You don't need many items to be able to kill somebody. Usually just the MKB and the BKB to allow you to just chase after someone, most likely Cuckoo. You're gonna be able to kill him by yourself in the span of 5 to 10 seconds. Like this move from Geek Fam, immediately into the Roche. Radiant are gonna scan it out, but I don't think they're gonna make it in time. Maybe.
If they can get a setup here, GH, not quite able to do so in time. Geek Fam will claim it. Aegis going the way of Raven. And of course now queuing up the Aghanims. He's about halfway towards it in gold.
Just not sure at what point this Geek Fam lineup is strong enough to go high ground. They've maintained this 6,000 or so gold lead for the last 10 to 15 minutes, but it's not growing. And as we discussed, like this, the 3, 4, 5 positions, I'm not as concerned with the core matchups because I feel like Nigma's supports, they're just going to scale so well throughout this game, whereas Rubik Chen, they're just not going to provide too much here. And again, Kuku Sanking, you've got a Veil, you'll be tanky, you'll be durable, but outside of a stun, you're not offering much in an engagement.
Top Mind Control trying to have a poke around that outpost. He has got back up in the area. Still Carl, very hard for Nigma to really make a play on the Timber. They still have to sort of ignore him unless he massively overextends. We'll see what they can do with the 4 of them in this area. Weehaw, money pretty much there for his BKB to be completed. And no lockdown, of course, from Geek Fam through that Magic community. So we can pop the Focus Fire, the BKB, and confidently take one of these heroes down from 100 to 0.
Who cares if Wee's only got that second item? He's got 2 free ones thanks to Ice Frog, the Grove Bow and the Enchanted Quiver. So even though his net worth is not looking so hot, he's still got a nearly max capacity inventory.
Yeah, that's true. Both of those synergize very nicely.
Yeah.
Having that reduced magic resistance on the target, and then the magic procs from the quiver, from the MKB, it all adds up.
Yeah, and then you have a ET with a Kraken Cloak and a Dragon Scale.
Yeah, and the ET bringing the magic resistance down even more.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you are going to see these heroes melt. BKB and a Focus Fire, most heroes will die to Weehaw and GH being in the neighborhood.
And there's not much lockdown on Geek Fam. Well, there is, but it's all removable by Kuro. He'll easily be able to shield off whoever gets jumped on. And outside of the Sand King Rubik stuns, like there really isn't much left. You want to continue to steal Shackle if you can on the Rubik. Done a good job so far, Zephyr has, but starting to get antsy. I feel it. You know, this is a position Nigma's been in how many times throughout their careers? TI 7, 8, 9. This is the style they like to employ. Miracle top of the net worth charts, play around him. 4 supporting heroes that all scale quite well. Strong itemization to bolster their team fighting.
Time for the smoke move from Nigma. See who they're able to catch out. DD Rune, it's looking appealing, and it looks appealing for Raven. Raven just before the Shackle won't connect. Raven immediately posts the Shattered Arts, looks to turn. Weehaw's caught on the front. The shield will save, and Kuro giving Weehaw the chance to put the BKB. The Focus Fire, of course, still there on Raven. So Raven will be shot down the once. They take the Aegis away. Reaper Scythe out onto Dubu. Dubu buys back immediately. Shackle shot again, won't quite latch. Raven's able to pounce out to safety. As Carl, he's trying to stay on top of Kuro. The fight starting to get split up. One more spell connection will finish off Kuro, but he cannot quite get it. The Chakram on the mark. Back in the center of it all, the stolen sight, it takes Weehaw down. He's dead for 75. As Zephyr makes the big kill happen, coming in hot. As they'll cut down Kuro, but that really was the big one. Able to grab that side steal out of Mind Control's toolkit and then slam it straight back down onto Weehaw. Geek Fam even trying to poke a little further. Miracle will manage to doppelganger away, but some very, very heads-up plays there from Geek Fam that secure them this clear minute to get aggressive and they don't have to worry about any sort of mid defense.
Yeah, really nice engagement there, though. You can see, however, how threatened Raven is by this Weehaw Wind Ranger. Even though he had BKB popped, he still had to pounce away, goes down, and quirky interaction, he respawned after Aegis, and the Wind Ranger still has the buff of the ultimate, so we had to actually exit the fight. Luckily, his team was there to help turn it around. And as you said, the Stolen Sight to finish it off. Final tier 2 will fall. Nigma now only with their base towers left to defend.
Yeah, just when it was starting to seem that Nigma were really able to hold on to the game and potentially look to begin to turn it around, Geek Fam, they say no. A bad fight taken by Nigma around that middle lane, deciding to go when, of course, the Aegis was still there. Always a bit of a bold call, and it does not pay off for them.
Yeah, it's actually Nigma that might have some damage issues, at least for this phase of the game, just because it's a PL with all these counters up against it. You've got a Shiva's on the Timber. I'm sure Sanking at a point will get an armored talent.
Mind Control, set up Sears, don't he save? Kuro's trying to step forward, offer up a shield, but it's not soon enough. Mind Control will fall. As Weehaw.
Nice, they saw the shield, it's huge.
He's trying to sort of turn and a hit into Carl, but Carl can just not be dealt with right now. Burrow strike out onto Miracle and his army of illusions. Miracle, he's got to run. He's got to be careful. The shield from Kuro helps him out. Carl's now punching onto the tier 3. Geek fam approaching the high ground. 30 seconds still without mind control. The splitter will be thrown out. He's off the mark though. Carl easily able to juke it out. Doesn't even make any sort of connection on the backline. Dubu's still got his army good to go and to push him with. They'll pop the fortification. Miracle, he's caught out by the pounce. Do they have the follow-up? Raven staying on top of him with the Shadow Dance. Another doppel will save him. Miracle can escape. But look at Carl just diving behind the tier 3s up to the tier 4s, bullying Nigma away from this defense.
Yeah, there's no magic damage. Owen, how do you kill him? He's got 52 plus armor.
They're slowly burning his mana. As now, just with the mana left for a Timber Chain, Mind Control back in the game and does have Scythe. Nigma, can they get a catch? He's on top of Dubu. Miracle, he's going straight past it. He's looking for the bigger one. Cuckoo will be the focus. Cuckoo holding on to the Burrow Strike down into the river. Miracle turns towards Dubu instead. Doppelganger's out. The illusions burn his mana. Dubu's stuck in the pit. They'll lose the Chen. Can Geek punch everyone else? Raven, he actually jumped in for this. He's got the BKB, pounces out, but he's got to run. Miracle, he's going to turn his attention back towards Carl and Cuckoo. Look to make sure that they haven't got the mana to play around with. Another jump forward. Miracle looking towards the Sand King. The stun's there. The side's out. Cuckoo's gone for 2 minutes. He does have buyback if he wants to get back and involved in this river fight that will continue to go on. Another pounce for Raven gets him over the wall of the Roche pit. He'll escape. This time Nigma forcing Geek fam back. After Geek fam were getting incredibly aggressive there on that high ground, Nigma are able to defend. They keep their tier 3 alive, and they end up getting a hefty kill, taking Cuckoo out of the game for 2 minutes, in which he's probably not going to want to buy back, so they've got a lot of space around the map to start catching back up.
And you can see just how stuck they've been inside that base. They finally have picked up their final tier 3 item. It took a long time to be able to get a neutral camp in their coffers, and that's the kind of fight you want as Nigma. A long, drawn-out war of attrition, covers a lot of ground and territory. No one's going to get burst down. Oh, Carl, hold up.
Carl, I guess he didn't think they were still around, as the Bloodstone heal will not save him. Carl just feeds his life away.
Just meandering through the river, walks under a ward.
I guess he expected them to go back, but I mean, with Sankey still dead, as we said, Nigma was always going to stay out on the map.
Maybe he just felt indestructible, right? It's tempting. You've played this entire game just with no fear. Sort of lulled himself to sleep, and he pays the price. That's a huge kill that gives them towers.
They're going to get at least a tower or 2 here, Nigma. 2 cores dead on Geek fam. In a game that they've been holding the lead for the most part, but as you say, these towers are still there for the taking. This is free money on the map for Nigma to pick up and close the gap.
They still have Wind Ranger ultimate. You could theoretically go up towards high ground, but nah, they're going to get the tier 2 instead. I gotta guess that they feel confident, right? We've discussed the late game edge that their 3, 4, 5 positions are going to give them. You're now equalizing the tower disparity, and you got to be feeling good if you're Nigma. Love that choice. Kuro gets the Vlad just to help his team do a bit more damage. Next, he'll go for the Ags to ensure that nobody dies in the duration of, say, an epicenter. This is looking good. Geek fam back against the wall. Even though they're the ones with the lead, that butterfly on PL, he is legitimately indestructible now.
He is. Miracle is, you know, sort of throughout the chaos of the whole game, he's stayed at the top. He's made sure that his own game has not been hindered. He's 1-0-7. He's never joined a bad fight. And it's really paying off now in terms of the power that he brings. You know, Raven's still himself as the Slark. His game equally as clean. You know, 5-0-5. I mean, both of these carries, some of the performances we've seen from them at this LAN, have, you know, they've just sort of been a step ahead of the position ones on many of the other squads.
And what's crazy is he went for a fighting build, right? He went Hood into Diffusal. We've seen typically when PLs play this way, just rushing Manta, but he doesn't even have the Hood anymore. He's still this farmed. Dubu's, is he a buyback? I don't think so.
I think it's still on cooldown. As Dubu, indeed, he is dead. No chance to get back in and help the rest of the team. Carl's going to start to push the back. The Stolen Shackle shot does come out, but the shield from Kuro onto Miracle will keep him safe. Mind control as well. Not the target that they want to jump on immediately. They do try for a bit of a move, but with the Shroud and the heal up, Mind Control's more than able to step back. Geek Fam, they're still trying to change this. Miracle's going to turn with the wraparound. They'll go in with the burst strike onto We Are, but the side sound down. Both supports now dead and gone. Raven pops the BKB in the Shadow Knight. Spear has to run. Carl is dying to the focus fire. He still does not have buyback. He's dead for 90. He doesn't have the money. He's 1,200 gold short on the Timber Saw as they're really starting to slip up.
And you can see they're getting a little desperate. Sand King has a Radiance. Geek Fam thought this game was going to end a hell of a lot faster. They had that second item BKB on the Slark. Timber getting the full pipe as his first item. Now you've got to go back for items that deal with the illusions, but it's too late. They're all going to have 3,000 plus health. And now you're going to have an Aegis on top of it. Miracle just riding the backs of his team. And we have a pause.
We do. Bit of the old lag.
Oh God, what an impressive time for it though, as Roshan begins the death throws.
Well, what can they do? What can they do against this PL? We saw, Nigma, they picked it second up. That's the confidence they had, and that sort of confidence, we're seeing it in the play.
It's
absolutely flawless showing so far from Miracle. And in a game where Geek Fam, they had that momentum. As we say, it was like 25 minutes in. Geek Fam had pretty much taken all the tier 1s, all the tier 2s, and lost nothing themselves. It felt like all the control, all the favorite, so the momentum and the chance to close this game, it was going the way of Geek Fam. But it seemed like they draft their lineup, it's just sort of ground to a halt. A few bad fights, and now starting to slip up, starting to make these mistakes where Nigma's suddenly catching these kills, getting these freebies on their own. If you're Geek Fam right now, you've got to seriously have a strong talk and think about how you're going to get this game back in your grasp.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, Owen. And it felt, you got to assume Nigma was comfortable with the way that this game started, because we are too, right? Fans at home, you've seen this before. It almost felt like just scorched earth. Like, let our towers fall. Let's just retreat. Let's waste some time. Miracle, you keep farming. Eventually, we're going to get that opportunity. We're going to be able to turn this around, and suddenly we'll be the ones who control the tempo. And I got to say, it's still not over by any means.
Oh, no.
Geek Fam, they've got to find openings, and it's so difficult just thanks to that Abaddon. You have no cleanse mechanic on this Dire side outside of Slark's ability to Dark Pact himself. But if Kuro's in the vicinity, who cares if you're lifted? Who cares if you're stunned? That hero will be able to survive. If it's we, he'll be able to pop the BKB. If it's anybody else, they'll use their spells, cooldowns, escape mechanics, and there's just no method of properly 5-on-5ing and getting an entry kill. And that's a huge edge. That's why we see Abaddon first picked in this game overall. We saw Omni Knight from RNG yesterday.
Yeah, it's these two heroes.
There's no real replacement to them.
No, sort of the other hero that we sometimes have dabbled with has been like the Legion, but already it's just sort of night and day, right? How strong those heroes seem to be. Omni and Abaddon are just still on that another level when you feel the need to have some sort of saving hero, which pretty much is 90% of the games of Dota 2.
Yep.
You always want to have that backup.
I really love the itemization as well. They got the Solar Crest, the Vlads, the Pipe, a couple of Force Staffs, the Nigma trademark. You'll never see them play a game without at least one of them, often two. So they obviously maintain their focus even through the slight delay. GH still waiting to reconnect.
And we have, of course, the meme admin there, just checking out the Twitch chat, making sure you're all behaving at home.
Probably not.
Almost certainly not. But we wouldn't have it any other way.
Radiant
as we're back on with the game. 40 minutes now. Geek Fam, the numbers still in their favor in net worth, but the last kind of 10 minutes of play, it just felt pretty weak from them.
Yeah. It reminds me, there's some interview Seb gave, I think it was recent, about how he thinks that the net worth, that little button up top, was actually super detrimental to the community's understanding of the game, because to quote him, net worth means nothing. Timings are Dota. It's
Absolutely.
your ability to fight. What can you actually do with your advantage? Because if the answer is nothing, well, are you really ahead?
Up to the high ground they go. They do have the repair kit. They got something to slow this down a little bit and help deal with the illusions. With that multi-shot coming out from the tower, but still, Miracle with the butterfly, the heart, the Aegis. Are you really killing him even just the once right now? And if the rest of the game has been anything to go by, the answer is no.
Dire's middle tower.
Clinical, take tier 3, retreat, grab the shrine, push out lanes. I like this maneuver. This is what you've got to do as Geek Fam. Timbersaw's going to TP to bottom. You've got the Chen to pull him back if needed. But for now, just try and get somebody out on the map to make things happen. But again, there's just no offensive item build. I was critical of Miracle for buying a hood. I feel like I've got to say the same about the way that these 3 cores on Geek Fam have itemized. You rushed these fighting items, nothing that really helps you scale. We saw again from, I believe it was RNG as well, first item Maelstrom on a Slark against the PL. I thought maybe that would be something we'd see here, but Echo Saber right into BKB, Scotty, Maelstrom, a lot of survivability, but they're having major damage issues. As we discussed, you just can't kill anybody with Kuro nearby. You've got to change that if you're going to take this game.
It really does just get to the point where their answers to PL feel incredibly limited. They're having to sort of itemize in those unorthodox, sort of less than ideal ways because they don't just straight up have the hero counters. At least it doesn't feel it. At least they have got AOE, but the Sand King, the Timber, that sort of damage, it is starting to scale down. It's just not stepping up at the same rate. The sort of the PL's power levels increasing with his heart, with his butterfly.
It's important to note, it's not that PL is nigh indestructible. It's what the team or built around him can do to keep him alive and to boost the damage output. Weeha, even though his net worth is still, like he's last place in terms of all the cores in this game, but his damage output's still so high that he can threaten kills, which is something Geek Fam can't really do right now. We saw even the Timbersaw had to run from him once the ult started getting channeled under the cover of his BKB.
And you said yourself, you pick the Wind Ranger to sort of just, it deletes a hero, right? It's all about that single target. And that's exactly what Nigma need. If Wind Ranger is able to take one hero out, suddenly Nigma have the number of advantages, and that's when a PL fries, because you just do not have the resources to contain him as he constantly stays on top of you. As they just walk up, they're taking the racks in. As Geek Fam, what can they do to slow this one down? Another repair kit's popped.
It's just so ridiculous. He's tanking through the Radiance and the Sandstorm damage. And the rest of his team is just casually in the mid lane.
And Carl does come in to try and cut the creeps and put a stop to this push. And that will keep the rack safe for now. They are out of creeps for a little bit of time. Carl is going to pay with his life, though, and he does not have buyback. Again, dead for 100. Carl cannot be back for the defense. He still remains short of gold. He hasn't saved up.
You could just go for Throne here, perhaps. Like, look, Geek Fam can't fight. The illusions alone are forcing them back into their fountain. I don't know what to say, Owen. Help me out, man. What do you do?
So, I mean, it's sort of looking back, it feels like this game may have ended for Geek Fam, about 20 minutes ago. As Nigma, they've built up this way, the draft. It was all about getting this point where the PL is untouchable. And now Raven is having to pounce away, pop the Shadow Dance. He's trying to commit onto Kuroki. Can he actually get anything out of this? He turns his attention towards GH, but Weeha chases him out. Shackle's there. Raven is dead. He'll buy back. Cuckoo's gone. He'll also have a buyback available, but it's only the 3 of them that can try and hold. The full 5-man of Nigma is still alive. Nigma, they're just moving on to the tier 4s. They weren't stopped when they were taking the racks, and it's going to be so hard for them to be stopped when they're taking the tier 4s and the Ancient.
They're trying their best. Oh, it's too little, too late.
Everything has just fallen into place perfectly for Nigma. Despite Geek Fam's seemingly great start to the match, it just was not great enough. The window for Nigma to take this victory, despite being behind in gold and in map control and in towers, the majority of this game, it's all fallen back over to their side now. The 2 sets of racks are gone. Geek Fam will live to see another day, but the way that the momentum's been for the majority of this game now, it's very hard to see a way out of this for Geek Fam now.
And it's one of the big advantages this team has, right? The wealth of experience, the time they've spent together. Nigma, we saw them yesterday play incredibly fast to the tournament. Same with their group stage match against Fighting Pandas with that Furion. They know how to crush a game, but they also know how to just take it slow, relax. Miracle didn't even hit a hero after the laning phase until about 30 minutes in. They had no problem with that. They're very comfortable whatever style of Dota their draft forces them into. And take some outposts, pretty critical lead. They've got 2 racks. Now just do the slow march down bottom. They're still a tier 1. And half HP. This is, I'm not sure what the answer is. No buybacks available right now for Geek Fam, and they're just doing the slow march of doom. I hear the Emperor's music playing now.
It really feels with
Is under attack.
the position Nigma's in now, they can sort of just A-click down the lanes as their draft, you know, it's sort of the rock to Geek Fam scissors. There's just no answer from Geek Fam's heroes.
Yeah, here we go. 8K gold lead, but feels like the advantage is significantly more just based on the way these hero matchups play out. As Geek Fam forced inside their base. One final hold, one final fight.
DD on Miracle, a consumed Moonshard, a completed Abyssal Blade. Level 26. And up they go again. Geek Fam, they couldn't defend the mid racks, they couldn't defend the top racks. Is anything going to be different down bottom? Carl steps forward. Miracle. And just turns straight towards him. Carl is trying his best to clean out the illusions, but he just cannot do so. He does not have the damage. As the tower's gone, Miracle's just going to hit the racks. Geek Fam, they're running around.
Oh no.
A bit of a failed Jules into a Burrow Strike combo there does nothing at all. As Miracle back to focusing on the racks. Stomp out on Cuckoo, comes in from the side, the Shackle's there, the Sand King's gonna get taken down low by the side, still gets the Burrow Strike off, but Miracle, he's there behind the racks, taking them down. Cuckoo's dead without buyback. Raven, Shadow Dancer's pop, but he has to retreat. He just has nothing. He does not have the damage required to take down anyone during his BKB and Shadow Dance right now. This bottom racks, they will fall as Geek Fam, I think it's best to say they're just thinking about what they're going to do differently next game, right now.
Mega's acquired. Still, Geek Fam desperately trying to hang on, but unfortunately, nothing to defend in your own fountain.
No. As Nigma, a solid showing here in this game, and one that Geek Fam, you know, they really pushed them on. Geek Fam's opening, it looked like that it was all going to be going their way. They were hitting timings, they were playing very fast. But the fact of the matter was that Nigma, you could tell that at the end of the day with this draft, they had a solid plan to allow Miracle to carry the game with the backup they could provide him. Miracle did not die. He had an incredible